All right. I think we should be live right now. Can you guys confirm? I think we are live. I think the Zoom chat says it's live. So let me see if it's
Yep, yep,
gallery
yep.
view.
It's working.
Okay. So now we should be on the gallery view. Hello, everyone. This is.
be
Oh,
live right
I'm actually hearing my
now.
own self right
You
now.
guys confirm? I think we're live. I think the Zoom chat says it's live.
Oh,
So
there
let
you
me
go.
see.
I'm hearing myself like, what? Where's this coming from? Okay. Okay. All right, everyone. Episode 2. So welcome to JavaScript Shared Community. KevTech is here, his community is here, and we have Brad, who did the episode 1. So welcome, Brad, and thank you for joining us again. This is going to be, and also we have Kevin Diaz, and maybe we may have other admins like Haifa, they may join in soon. So thank you for joining us again over here. What we are going to do in this one, in this session, in this episode 2, we're going to ask Brad about what happened after this 30 days of work. So he came in first in episode 1. He basically talked about kind of like getting into this company. What was his background? So if you are new to these, new to our community, and you haven't watched the first video, I'm just going to quickly share my screen. So then if people are joining in for the first time, they know how this flow works. So then for next time, we have a little clarity. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen with you all. I am going to do this part of my screen. Can somebody let Haifa in?
I
Thank
got
you.
it. I got it.
Okay, so this is what, if you guys are looking at my screen, we are basically offering internships. So Brad was a batch 1, right, Brad? You were part of batch 1, right?
Yeah, batch 1. Yep.
Batch 1. So basically he started batch 1. When you go to the javascriptshare.org and you start this program, was called like IT's training program. And then when you get into that, this is the first program that we offer to most of our, interns and even our members or even free members. Everyone start from this free course. And once they finish, they start with the step 1 course. Once they start this course, all the way to the bottom, it says training, internship, and how to apply. So we made this fundamental a requirement for you to get into this internship for a reason, because we want to make sure that you know at least some basics, that we don't have to reinvent the wheel again in the internship. So then it's easy for administration teams, for us to deliver the skills that are really needed for you to land the job and for you to perform well on the job, not just landing a job, performing well on the job. So Brad have done this process. He got the job, and if you just go to youtube.com and type JavaScript Share 18 like that, and you can see his first video will pop up, and that's his first video right there. So awesome video. We got a lot of comments from other people that it was really inspirational and motivational at the same time. So I really appreciate Brad for doing this, because it is definitely helping a lot of people. That how do I start? I'm young, or I'm transitioning into IT. I really need to get started. So that is where Brad is here again now for episode 2. He's going to basically tell us what happened during this 30 days. And if you have any questions, please put it in the chat so we can then ask Brad. So let me go back to our screen. Haifa is here too. Welcome, Haifa. Okay, Brad, are you there?
I am.
All right. So first of all, how are you? And how's everything?
Pretty good. How about you, Danish?
Good, good. So, Brad, last episode we talked about giving us the history, or you basically having a lot of hard time getting into IT. Somehow, all of this information helped you, and then you started. So, what we want to know in this episode 2 from you now, that what was the experience like in these 30 days? How did you felt from the first episode? So let's just start with the little bit of like a feeling type of thing. Like how did you start it?
I mean, when I first went into the job, it was kind of stressful learning everything. Um, all the proprietary software, I'm still learning things, but other like the RDP sessions, remoting into a computer, the AD, troubleshooting Outlook, troubleshooting web browsers and stuff, I'm feeling pretty comfortable with it. I mean, it's kind of like basics that we went over in the internship kind of thing.
Just a quick thing. Is everybody hearing Brad clearly, or is it me just having a little issues? Is it clear? Okay, it's clear. Okay, sorry. So Brad, in this 30 days, like if you were going to tell us that, okay, you know what, in something that I was doing this for 30 days and I really felt that one thing helped me. What would that be like? When you're thinking like, okay, in this 30 days I've learned this much, or my stress level was either high or low. What is that something that really helped you? And if you can tell us about that.
It would have to be Active Directory for sure.
Active Directory. Okay, so you think
For
Active
sure,
Directory
because
skills is important in your job area?
right. Because I mean, I start the job at 7:45. Like 7:45 is like 11:30, 12. It's always I got locked out of my account. I don't know my password, so I go in there real quick. I change it. I unlock it, and then they can go on their way with their work. And then
Oh, nice. Okay. And what are some of the tickets that? Okay, so first of all, like how many tickets do you do on a daily basis, like regular basis? What's the ticket flow for you?
so I usually get around like 15 to 20 calls a day. And then I do tickets while I'm not on call. I'll pick up some easy tickets real quick that I can do in between calls and things, and get them submitted off to different teams if need to be. Or if I can solve them, I'll solve them out real quick.
In this 30 days, do you have any tickets that you feel like, man, I should have known this stuff?
To be honest, I'm not really too sure because a lot of the tickets do come in as the proprietary software things I'm not really too sure about yet because there's a lot of backhand things that go on with that software. But I mean, a lot of tickets like just reset my password real quick, and I don't need to be on the phone with them to do that. They can just submit a ticket real quick, and I just reset their password for them. And then in the solution box for the ticket, I can just put their new password in and things.
Nice. Kevtech, do you have any questions, so we can do a little round? I'm gonna
Oh
check.
yeah, definitely. I was gonna ask you, Brad, like, what's the, I guess, well, because you're brand, I know you still have like 30 days. You're brand new, right? So what's
Right.
the, like, so because I know the understanding about the ticketing system as well. So what is that? Was there any at any point you had to ask for help for like certain tickets because you're like what the heck is this? I never seen this in my life before. You know,
Oh, for sure.
did
I
that
mean, with
happen to
the
you?
right for the proprietary software, I definitely ask for a lot of help on that because it's like for when they go into the healthcare centers and things, they take images. Sometimes the images don't line up with the right person, so we have to go in and um, put the images with the correct person and things. We have to delete documents out of folders. It's a lot of back end stuff that can go in, and we can't be just deleting random things out of patients' folders because one click and everything can go south.
Got it. And then for I guess because you only have 30 days, like I'm gonna say that. But
Right.
have you been? Because to some people, what they do is when they get a job and they've been in the job for 30 days, some people they're all over the place, you know.
Hmm.
For you, are you still like trying to focus more on your job, or are you studying outside of that, like you're doing things outside of that in order
I'm trying to
to?
focus. I'm trying to focus mainly on the job right now, and then outside I'm studying the Net Plus just to get because our job does entail a lot of networking and things. So if like a site goes down, we have to access a command line, see if we can ping the site and things like that. So
Got
I'm
it.
mainly just trying to focus on the job.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's really good. And how's the, I guess, like how's your like level been with all the job overall? Like you feel like all the training that we did that definitely helped you, or you feel like some of the stuff that, like some stuff like you never seen before, you had to learn it on your own, or what like, how do you feel right now the
Uh,
last couple of
I
days?
mean, I've been feeling pretty good. Everything we went over in the internship and things, I've definitely touched. I
Mhm.
think maybe more like printer troubleshooting, we could have touched maybe more on because I'm seeing a lot of that and a lot of scanner troubleshooting and things. Like with scanners, you have to restart the Windows image acquisition service and things sometimes. So I think maybe more printer troubleshooting would have helped me a little bit more.
And
But I mean,
oh, sorry. I was gonna say,
oh no, go ahead, Ted.
yeah, I was gonna say, sorry. And how's the team been with you? Have they been super helpful, very approachable? Because sometimes in IT world, you have people that don't want to teach you anything. That's just how it is with IT world. Like some companies do that. So how is your team, or how's your coworkers been with you? They've been super nice to you, and they've been helping you.
Oh yeah, they have been very super nice. The one trainer was very nice. She was very helpful in things, and the team lead, she like if you ask her a question, she goes above and beyond to explain things. I mean, the whole team is very helpful so far from what I've been seeing.
Okay, yeah, that's good, man. It's like for me, like I like to have a balance between having
Hmm.
a good team and having a good like working in a good company, but having a good team, because some of that it becomes very stressful when you don't have a really good team, and then
Right,
what happens is you ask for help, no one wants to help you. That's just
right.
the way. Sometimes it works like that with IT.
Yeah,
And
but
I
no,
was
I mean,
gonna. Mhm.
like I'll ask for help in the chat, and they'll respond like right away with help on suggestions on to do. But they always want to know what did you try first. They don't want you just to come asking straightforward. They want to see what you did first to see. if you can solve it or not.
Got it. That's good, man. And have you like, do you feel like, I know it's only been like a month. Do you feel like you still you know everything now, or do you feel like you still have a lot to go to learn everything after a
Oh, I
month
think I still have
being?
a lot to go.
And what do you think is like for what's your advice for someone that's brand new that has a job just like you in 30 days? Like, what's your advice for someone that's brand new that's trying to, like, I guess, master their job and being brand new to IT, or trying to learn what they're doing in the first 30 days? What's your advice for someone that's doing what you're doing? Like, what advice would you give to another person in the next 30 days? You're like, oh, okay, I'm brand new to start. How should I get started in my job? Like, what's your advice on that for someone that's new?
I mean, I would open up a Word document and just take plenty of notes. Listen very well during your training session. If like my training was 3 weeks long, so it was kind of more extended training. I know some people they only get like a week or so. So my training was definitely more extended. I took a lot of notes during the training, and even when I was off the clock, I was always in the ticketing system, seeing what common tickets came in, what was the solution to them, just trying to get a feel for everything in the job.
Yeah, so
I want to, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say sorry. I was gonna say, so you actually like did work on the side on your own, because otherwise you wouldn't learn anything, obviously, right? So you basically, like, you research old tickets, you try to see what the common issues are in your job, because every company you work for, there's always going to be some sort of issue that the company just has. It's just a lingering issue that you cannot fix it, or for some reason people have that same issue over and over again. So it's good, man. I was just wondering, because what happens is when someone gets a brand new job, like, I want to hear from someone that's new, because, like, what have you been doing to to actually make yourself more comfortable in your job, to make things a lot easier for you, because you go into the job, you get hit really hard because it's like too much going on at the same time, too many moving parts. So that's the reason why I wanted to know what your thought process was on that. But I'm good. I just
So,
wanted to know.
Danish, do you mind? Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I wanted to say, hey, Brad, what's up? So I wanted to say that, like, Brad has a very special type of drive when it comes to IT. He's, I don't know, very different than a lot of, not just the interns, but a lot of the people in the community. He's constantly trying to learn, constantly trying to push, constantly trying to, like, gain. And I think that is one of the biggest reasons Brad is able to sit here in front of us and be, like, so confident and, like, share such an amazing story. But I also wanted to ask you, is there any advice that you got during, like, the internship or from the community that you're like, yeah, I'm never going to have to use that, and then you're realizing now that you're in the job that, oh my God, that's actually, like, important. I'm glad that someone had mentioned it before. Like, for instance, an example would be, like, reading the documentation. You know how they always say, read documentation, take your time, read documentation. Right. I'm wondering, like, is there anything that you overlooked that someone said to you, but that now you're realizing is really important?
I would have to say attention to detail. Just take your time and go very slow, because this one lady called me up one day and she says, I don't have the view images tab on my screen. So and this was on a proprietary software. So I went on her software application, and I entered my credentials to log in, and I had the view images tab. So I logged back into her account. One of my coworkers, they got on the computer, they remoted in, and they saw the view images tab on her account. I did not see it. And I think I was just going too fast at the moment, just trying to get the case solved. And I think attention to detail is a must.
Awesome. That's a great answer. Yeah, I think people with a lot of drive, like you and I, and, like, I know Danish and Kevsek are like this too, but you want to, like, zoom through everything. Right. So that's a great piece of advice.
So Brad, Diaz, do you have any question?
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you, what are some expectations that later you got met with reality with? So, like, something that maybe you expected to be on the job or that you expected the job to be like, that you realized that's not really what it's like.
Could you explain that in more detail, Kevin?
Yeah, so for example, something maybe you had an idea of what the job would be like, and then maybe you got to the actual job and you realized, yeah, this isn't really how it is or how it's supposed to be.
Well, I mean, during the interview process, they did say the job would be very fast paced. You get lots and lots of calls a day. And then, like, when I started to work on my own after the 3 weeks, like, I didn't feel like the job was as fast paced, but there's definitely always something to do.
And something else I wanted to ask, we always get asked about this in Discord. What was that first day like for you?
The first day we toured the place, and then we just went over basic things like Active Directory, basic networking things. We met with the whole team and things, and just it was just simple stuff like that, going over the expectations and things like that.
Go ahead, Kev.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask what is how like 'cause I know it's been a few days. How's the environment been for you so far? Like, you feel happy there? You feel comfortable? How are the people? How are the coworkers? How's management? Everyone, like, if everything's okay? You know, I'm just checking on you. I'm checking on you, basically. I'm checking on you.
Right. I mean, I think the environment's great right now. I mean, everyone is very friendly. They're always here to help. They're always joking around in the chat and stuff, just having a good time. And like, we're the national service desk, so we provide help to everyone that we serve, and we only have like 20 people in the help desk. And so, I mean, it's kind of like a small team. And from what I've been seeing, all the people there have been together for a while, so they know each other pretty well. And I mean, so far the environment seems great.
Awesome. So somebody also asked this question, and you already answered that. Active Directory is one of the skills that you think it really helped you on a daily basis. But somebody's asking, like, what does he do every day? Do you have like a common task every day for these 30 days that you feel like that's repetitiveness? I just go there, I repeat. What is that?
It would have to be unlocking accounts and changing passwords. I do it every single day, every day.
Haifa is like, yes, that's kind of like what it is.
I've actually never had to do that, not even once so far.
So remember, guys, this is some jobs like this. I always tell people that, why does people spend so much time in help desk and they felt like, oh, I got stuck? It's because of they do the same thing repetitively. So imagine if Brad spends another 6 months, he probably would cover every single ticket in his environment. Some will be a little different, though. He will always come across like that. But then 80% of ticket is going to become repeat of everything, repetitive, repeat. And that's where I tell people that you got to go for something more than that in learning. So with that question, Brad, what are you learning right now? What's your mindset right now? Where are you investing your time? Are you focusing in your own company to understand this a little bit more, or you're trying to learn something more out of more skills?
I mean, my goal is to, after this, trying to transfer into like a sysadmin or into like a networking role. But in the company currently, I'm trying to learn all the proprietary software. We have two main ones. I'm trying to learn that because there's a lot of stuff that going behind the scenes of the software. It's not just logging in and just searching images for patients and things. There's a lot of back-end stuff that goes on, and if it fails, it can be very hard to troubleshoot sometimes.
So what kind of courses are you taking for sysadmin mindset or the network side? What are you taking? I heard some networking stuff.
Right. So right now I'm studying for the Network Plus through CompTIA, and then I plan to purchase the lab access that you gave me for the sysadmin course.
Okay. So you're taking the I think it's, hold on, let me see. It's a server fundamental course, server administration, Active Directory and policy fundamentals. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Somebody also asked this question in this chat, and they're like, I have done this course and I spent 1 year and I'm actually an IT support analyst or something like that. Muhammad Taha, I think that's what you. So exactly if you're doing the same learning path now, I think recently, just like 2 days ago, we replaced our step 4, which is Active Directory course, with our new course, which is called Windows Server Administration, Active Directory Group Policy Fundamentals now. So basically what it is, that people like Brad or people like you who have already done this course, the fundamental and the real world skills, they want to know, can I learn more advanced things? Can I learn how to set up a DHCP? Can I learn set up a DNS in this level? Because you got to be in this level to use this, because you're so good at it, you're confident, you're using this time, so you're not getting stressed for learning something new, because now you already know your job. You can do this with, like, hey, I'm going to do this like that. I can do this like that. while you're in this learning path, learning something more advanced, that's more servers administrations or Active Directory at a sysadmin level. So when you go to this course, the Active Directory is not just a, let's just create a user or let's just reset a password. It's actually now creating a whole Active Directory, replicating it, fixing some of the problems in the Active Directory. That's going to give you that sysadmin level confidence. So then when you are going to go out and apply for these jobs, the junior sysadmin level jobs or any other admin level jobs, when you go to the interviews, they're not going to ask you, can you create an Active Directory account? They will never do that. They're going to ask you, can you fix Active Directory, right? So that's where now you need to focus in this area. But now, this is also something that I want to remind people that 30 days is not enough for me to tell people that go and start sysadministration skills, because 30 days is too soon. But it depends on a person to person as well. Brad is closing about, I don't know, 100 tickets a week, probably more than 100, right?
So this month I closed almost 300 so far, and that's not including, not including the tickets that I send off to other teams and things.
So you have to look at your own like area or the job that you're in, because if you're closing like, let's say, a few tickets a week, then of course I wouldn't recommend even advanced stuff because you're not comfortable with this stuff. But he's closing a lot of tickets. I mean, I wasn't expecting that kind of tickets from Brad, to be honest. He's almost getting to our Superman, which is sitting here, like the Kevtech. He may even cross him. So you can see why we would recommend based on individuals. So of course, then you need to come to our Discord communities. We shared the links in the chat, and come to these communities, then ask or share your skills level. Like, okay, this is where I am. This is my skill set. Then we would suggest you that course. Other than that, I wouldn't suggest somebody to just jump into something more advanced, because I know it's going to burn you out.
I wanted to ask you about what kind of devices, what kind of systems do you have in your environment? Windows, Mac, Linux?
So right now for like managing our services and things, they use Linux, and then like all the other devices are Windows 7 and 10.
And what kind of you only deal with the Windows devices, right?
Yes, yeah.
Is there like an opportunity for growth in that company, perhaps?
Yes, there is opportunity. You just have to just say you do want to go to a network role in this company. You just have to reach out, and they'll hand you over small projects, and then they'll see if you can do them. And if you do understand the things, then you can go up to bigger projects and potentially move into that role.
Yeah, that's something I would highly recommend taking advantage of. That's extremely good for resume building, so that when you go to the next role, you said network admin, sysadmin type stuff is what you want to get into. You'll have a bigger advantage when you go apply to roles.
I was gonna ask you, like, are you doing, besides like Active Directory stuff? And you said you were doing printers as well. So I see earlier you said that doing printers and scanners. Are you doing MDM as well, or no? Just wondering.
No, I'm not. No, but I am doing dual mobile.
Dual mobile. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Two-factor authentication, right? Yeah. And in your environment, not because I move out, giving us like your obviously your job description, but are you using VPN clients?
Yes, we're using AnyConnect and Global Protect.
AnyConnect and Global Protect. Got it. Do you get calls about people getting locked out of Dual?
Yes, a lot. Well, I mean, not locked out of Dual. I mean, a lot of them is just I can't connect to AnyConnect because they changed their password and they did not cache it on their PC, and then I had to create them a new password, open like Notepad as a different user, have them enter their new password, and then it will cache it in their computer, and then I lock the computer and I have them log back in again.
Do you have issues where the person like certificate errors on VPN,
yes,
or you don't get that?
No, I'm not on VPN yet, but I have had SSL certificates on the actual PC on their user account.
Got it. Just wondering. That's pretty cool, man. Because that's so you're not doing level 1 then. You're doing a bunch of other things because you have VPN going on, you have Dual going on, AD going on. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I'm guessing you probably have an admin account, right, for Dual?
Yeah, I do. Yep.
And are you setting up their mobile devices? You're walking someone through like setting up their phone and everything, their email address, having them download the Dual client, all that good stuff?
Yeah, so like if they don't have Dual Mobile installed, I'll send them the install instructions. If they do have them installed, I just send them like an activation link, and then I walk them through all that and things.
Cool. Are you dealing with Office issues as well? like Word, Excel, Outlook, or no?
Yes, a little bit, but we don't have access to the Exchange and stuff in the Office 365 admin.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, because in some environments they use Outlook a lot. So I was wondering if you're having issues with like Outlook. Outlook can't open. Outlook gets corrupted, or someone wants you to change something on the way the email client looks and stuff like that. Just wondering.
Right now, I have not had many issues with Outlook and Word and stuff.
Oh, that's good, man. Probably the printer issues, right?
Printers and scanners.
Printers and scanners, like printers not connecting and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
Told you
So
they
I
were
have a
fun.
question from the chat for you.
Yep.
From Limitless Combo. How was the first help desk call?
Actually, the first help desk call was very easy. It was just resetting a password. But I mean, just like
were you
answering
like nervous answering the phone? Were you like, oh God, I don't know what a computer is? Or like, were you freaking out?
I mean, no, not really. I felt very confident. I did come from a cashier background, working in a grocery store, so like I've had experience with customers and things like that. So I wasn't very nervous at all.
Okay, yeah, because for me, I was like, what is a computer? Like, what's a Windows? I was like so anxious for my first call.
So Brad, have you gotten anything from the company that we're going to support you with the education or like, your professional development? Have you gotten anything like that so far?
Yeah, they do provide a college reimbursement of 1,700, I believe. So they'll help you with that and things.
So then you can go and do like a semester or something and
Right.
add that in there. Okay. Do they also help with certifications or anything like that?
That I do not believe they help with certifications. I think it's just a college reimbursement tuition.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I mean, I usually tell people that people are like, hey, can I go for a degree or do your courses and then get a job or something? It's like our courses are don't compare our courses with the degree. Degree is a degree, right? Degree is a pretty big thing. And we tell people that if you're going to go for a degree, then at least pick a degree that is going to help you in future for more management level jobs. Don't go for a degree that says IT support engineer associates, right? That really doesn't make too much sense. But go for a degree that is higher level and then use it and go for those semesters and take that education and have your company pay for it in these positions. We have done that. I have done this. Brad is probably going to do this. So it's very possible. A lot of people think that this is not true, but yes, it's very possible. You can go and get the job as an IT pro. You have a 18-year-old sitting right now live. He got the job. He's going to be making that money. But at the same time, he may want his company to be investing in his education. So then, tomorrow he's taking everything pretty nicely. And that's something a lot of young folks or anybody who's getting into college, they should consider this, that you can do this. You can even do a part-time job in IT and still do this kind of thing. So
something else I recommend that you do is those higher level people, like I said with the projects, but also just talk to them. They're great people to go to, get some mentoring advice, some direction in your career. Maybe they might be able to point you at some things that you might want to learn or look at about the industry. That always go to those people and have a good connection, good network with them, and just you can learn a lot from them.
That's exactly. I was going to say the exact same thing. Since you're aiming for sysadmin, right? I recommend you go ahead and talk to your coworkers that have sysadmin positions, because you say your friends you're cool with everyone. So go ahead and talk to them, see how they got that position, see what technologies they know, and see if you get familiarized with those technologies. So then you're more comfortable, and then maybe later on in your job, you don't know, maybe they have an open spot for sysadmin later in the future, and then you can move into that position. So that could happen anywhere. It could happen in your job. You don't know. So maybe you want to ask them and see if what did you learn or what technologies did you get familiarized in order for you to get to a sysadmin job. So sometimes it's who you know, and it's not what you know, it's who you know sometimes. So if you network with people, that does help you. So I would recommend you talk to them, see how they got that position, see what technologies they learn, see what certifications they learn and stuff like that. And it'll make you a really, really strong tech after that. So
I have a question for you from Jason. I'm sorry if I said that incorrectly. Bradley, what is it like working alone remotely? I presume you are working from home due to pandemic.
So I mean, it is very different than working in the office around everyone. I mean, I honestly like working from home better. I can just get out of bed, go to my desk, and just start working. And then we do have a group chat where you can just message someone real quick, or we can even just call someone real quick. So I mean, it's not very much different, but I think working from home is a little bit better.
How would you feel if things started to get normal and then they're like, come on in, get back to work in the office? So how are you preparing for that? Because you haven't, I believe you haven't still worked directly in the office yet, right?
No, so the 3 weeks was at the office for the training.
Oh, so you were kind of ready mentally that if they say, yeah, we go there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think I am ready at this point. I mean, I think it will be a while until we go back to the office, but.
What about the other pros right here in Haifa? You're also starting new. So what are you guys like? I know you probably go to work too sometimes, but how is this going to impact you all that when we say, guys, we got to go back now regularly? Are you guys mentally ready for this?
Honestly, so I go to work every, so we take shifts at the office. So every 3 weeks is my shift. So I get 2 weeks at home, 1 week at work, 2 weeks at home, 1 week at work. I think I prefer working at home because I'm not alone. Our office is really strict about how many people can be around. So there's only one IT person. I'm like the only person basically on our floor. And it's a big building. It just feels lonely. And plus I like doing the ticketing rather than like the imaging and the, you know what I mean? Like I want to do like the software stuff. I don't want to do like the imaging and whatnot.
Yeah, it takes more time and
it takes more time and less reward.
Yeah,
like,
more work. Yeah.
Like every time I help someone and I'm done and I'm like, okay, your machine is all yours. Like there's a smile on my face because I've helped someone get to like where they want to go.
I think there will be very few texts that I would come across and they say, I love imaging. Yeah, let's do it.
I don't know what Kevtech's going to say. Pardon?
I said our field support does all the imaging and things for the PCs.
No, we have to. Well, yeah, no, we have to do it. So, what's the hardest thing that you've come across so far? Whether it is on a social level at work or IT, or maybe you want to mention one of either.
I mean, it's just like at this point, I think I got into like the very difficult part is just when I get a call and it's about the proprietary software, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Let me just ask the coworker real quick, and then I'll get back to you. I mean, or sometimes I even say, let me take a minute into this. Let me take a look, and I'll give you a call back and ask them for a good callback number and things. Like all the standard Windows problems things, I think I'm pretty comfortable with it at this point. Okay. It's just when I get a call about the proprietary software, then I start struggling a little bit.
What's the most difficult customer that you've had to deal with so far, and how did you handle that?
So are any of you all familiar with AirWatch?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I had a doctor call me about AirWatch. She will call you and she will have very little time to get the problem solved. And she called me when I was at the office training. And she's like, I got an hour, and then I got an hour to the meeting. I need to have my email synced to AirWatch as soon as possible. And I was like, ma'am, it would be easier if I just send you the documentation. You can read over it. We'll go through it together real quick. And she declined the offer. She's like, you can read it over to me. I don't need the documentation. And then nothing worked out. So I just sent it to our cyber team and had them call her so they could take a look at it because nothing was going right.
Is there a ticket that you really messed up and like, man, so like
you're like, can I hide it under the rug?
Yeah, like how do I, is there anything like that happened so far?
So one user did call me. His account was disabled and he was working the past week, and like, because after like when your password expires, if you have not created a new password, your account just disables out. And we think a wrong name was entered and his account was disabling every week. And I enabled his account by accident. I did not put in the telephone tab that I enabled his account, and my manager came out to me, the team leader, was like, did you enable this account? I was like, I did. And she's like, why don't I see anything in the telephone notes? I said, I totally forgot. I just enabled it. I closed the ticket, but we cannot be closing those tickets. We have to send it to our user team to verify that their name is not on the list to get disabled every week. So I kind of enabled it when I should not have.
I see. Okay.
Have you closed tickets with the wrong notes? Because I have done that. I would have like 5-6 tickets open and I'm working on them and I'm like, oh, this one, and I'll close it with the wrong notes and then I can't go back and like I can go back and adjust it, but if I close a task with wrong notes, the task disappears. It goes into like, I don't know, task heaven or something. And so I have to contact my boss and be like, hey, sorry, I put the wrong notes in. Have you done that yet?
I have not yet. But like our ticketing system, like the solution box, once we save that, we cannot change that at all. So we'll put in our solution in the tech notes, which is only the IT people can see, not the end user.
So for us, if we're closing a ticket, you don't have to put in work notes. Those are not required. However, before you resolve a ticket or even put it on hold, you have to send a message. Like it's required, you know, those boxes with the little star, it's required that you send a message to the user. Does your ticketing system have the same thing? Like every time I close a ticket, I'm like, hey, thank you, blah, 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 blah. Like I have to put in a message for the user every single time.
Right, yeah, I do too. I have to put how the solution was resolved for the user.
And then, so how do you do that? How do you write your messages to the user? Are you like, hey, good morning? Or are you like, fixed it like this, and then like, thanks for, like, what's your wording like when you're speaking to customers in those resolutions?
So like, just say if someone sent a ticket saying I need my password reset, I would put in the problem location that the password needed to be reset in the solution. I'd just say, hey, the password has been reset. Please use the following password, and I'll just send it off to the user.
Oh, okay. I write them like a love story, like, good morning. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Your resolution has been successfully. Yeah, I think I'm the only one on the team that does that.
So we got a question here in the chat. It says, what is it like working alone remotely? So, oh, actually, it's basically earlier, but I want to add to that. How are you dealing with that in terms of keeping yourself entertained, keeping yourself focused? And, you know, just it's kind of difficult, you know, when you can't go in person, talk to somebody, you have to message them. How are you dealing with that whole thing in general? How's your workflow basically?
Right. So right now I'm dealing with it pretty good. I mean, when I send a message off to a coworker, I mean, they're very fast to respond and things. So, I mean, I think I'm dealing with it pretty good. But I mean, like other people, like if they don't have someone to contact right away, they can feel very nervous at first. But I think with me having people to contact right away and they can respond very quick, I think it's a very benefit for me.
Do you guys have like some kind of internal like messaging system or something like that?
Yeah, we have a messaging system, yeah, like a group message kind of thing for all of our team.
Which one do you use, if you don't mind me asking?
We use something called Radar Nudge. It's like a healthcare system.
Oh, I've never heard of that. Oh, okay.
Is that something that you also have to support, or is that separate?
No, that is separate. I mean, we do a little troubleshooting with it, but not very much.
I know you work in the medical.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you work with Epic? Do you work with Epic?
I've never heard of Epic.
Okay, just wondering. No.
Did you have to go through HIPAA training?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, like how focused were they on that? Like how strict were they about like your HIPAA training? Was it like a day? Was it like an hour? Here, like don't share anyone's information, or was it like detailed?
Well, actually, it was just a policy acknowledgement. We just had to read it, sign it, and then it was like done deal. So I mean, it wasn't like a very in-depth training. It was just like a policy acknowledgement.
One thing I wanted to ask you. So for us, we had to do every year we have to do a freedom from harassment training. Have you done anything along those lines? Because I thought that was interesting. A freedom from harassment, or like basically like how to keep the work environment safe. Have you had to do a what's it called? A course like that with them, or like a training like that with them?
So we did have to do a harassment policy and things like that, like not saying sexual things and along those lines.
Okay.
But like it was not like very in depth or anything.
I remember mine was like this big book. Somebody came in front of me and sat down in front of, like, one-on-one, and they just went through the whole book. Like, so this is the policy for this is the policy for that. I mean, that was like a while ago, so I'm not sure if people do more like trainings these, or they just go over like, papers.
I mean,
okay,
for me, it was all online. We just read a policy, signed it, done deal.
There's another question from Jocelyn. Again, I'm sorry if I'm saying that incorrectly. Bradley, in the future, do you think your company will have expectation of handled tickets?
What does he mean by that?
Maybe an expectation, that a goal that you have to meet. I'm not sure what is meant by this question, but from my understanding is like, do they expect you to close out? Like, is there like a minimum that you need to close out? And an example is for us, like at the end of the month, they'll like put like a whole chart and see like who closed what and how many closed what, and then the first three, the highest closers, get like a thank you and whatever.
No, they do not assign like how many tickets you should be closing a month. It's more like the detail that you're putting in the tickets and things like that. Like if you're sending the ticket off to a different team, are you being detailed about why you're sending it off and things like that? Like they're not saying, oh, you have to close 50 tickets today.
Do you have processes to escalate things? Like for us, if someone needs a shared network drive created, I have to fill out a specific form and then send it as a child ticket to sysadmin for them to create that shared network drive for that user. Do you guys have processes like that?
No, we do not. Not for like shared drives and things. Like if something needs to be done that we cannot do, we just put in the tech notes so the team that we're sending it off to can see it, not the user, and then we just send it off to them real quick. We don't have to fill out like any forms or anything saying why.
Even if it's like I don't know how closely you work with cybersecurity and things like that. Like if someone's requesting a program that's like not on the allowed list or that's not on a list, and you need to like check if they're allowed to download it. Do you have processes for that?
No, not really. So we just put in the ticket like what they need, and then we send it off to the team, and then they decide if they have to install it or not.
I was gonna ask you like what was I gonna ask? What application are you setting up like video conference stuff at all or no? Like meetings and stuff like that?
No,
Do you do that in your job?
No, we do GoToWeb meeting.
Okay, like GoToWeb meeting, got it.
When we have like meetings and things, we just use GoToWeb meeting.
Do you get calls about like my mic's not working, my camera's not working, or calls like the app's not working and not launching?
No, actually, we have not had any of that yet, from what I've seen.
Okay, just wondering because sometimes if you do help desk or IT, you get calls like that. Oh, my microphone's not working, or I can't see myself, or
right,
stuff like that.
All right, so I think maybe do you guys have more questions, or should we wrap it up?
I don't have any more. I don't have any more questions. It's for me, no, I'm okay. As always, it's a pleasure to have you here, Brad, and everyone else. Thank you guys. I don't know if anyone else has any more questions.
So basically what we're going to do is I told Brad that we are going to do episode 3. And what we will do is that Brad told me that I think he will be doing it next 2 months now. Right, Brad?
Yeah.
So we want to add that little bit more space for him, because this is where now he have told what his job looks like, what kind of ticks he deals with on a daily basis, where he was comfortable. Active Directory really helped him. Just to recap these things, Active Directory really helped him. And then, of course, the rest of the things, confidence-wise, of course, from video 1, we learned that, some of the skills learning was really helpful for him. And now he's learning things on his own. And now what he's doing is he's bringing his experience, things that we may not have, because that's naturally, he knows this stuff, right? So he's going to spend a little more time at his work. And that's where he's going to bring that experience after 2 months. So my recommendation to you all is this, that in this description, I'm going to add his LinkedIn. I'm going to add all the pros over here that are sitting here, their LinkedIn and channels profiles. So make sure to follow them. And especially Brad, because if you are following him and you're like in the same situation, I would highly recommend that you get connected with him. If you feel like, hey, I can't wait for 2 months now, right? Can I ask him a question? So make sure you do that. Are we allowed to do that, Brad? Can we put your?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yep.
So quickly, Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Before we wrap it up. One, how often do you meet with your team? So for us, we have 2 weekly meetings every week, same time. Do you guys have the same thing, or is it just a one-on-one with your boss, like catch up kind of thing?
No, so actually there's been no like mandatory meetings for the whole team or anything. And I mean, as I've been going on there hasn't been any like one-on-one meetings either from what I've been seeing.
Okay, and then the other question is from Jason. Bradley, do you guys perform callbacks to customers just to follow up if issue that was escalated to the next level was resolved or not?
No, we do not. So once we submit it off to the different team, it's basically like out of our hands almost.
So adding to Haifa's first
I was
question,
gonna ask something too, actually, Kev. Now that you got me there.
yeah, but like, is there any kind of like team building type of activities you guys have planned out or something like that to maybe you get to know not just your IT team but also the customers or something like that? Any kind of like outside of work kind of activities that you guys have planned? Because I know for us in a school environment, there's always things where like the faculty gets together and they do some kind of development
like
or
team
some
building?
kind of some kind of fun activity.
Yeah, so I have heard before this pandemic started going on things, it would go to like a baseball game or something, just as like a little get together and kind of thing.
I actually was gonna ask you in your job, and this is very random because sometimes in some jobs, are you required to be on call?
Yes, we are required to be on call at all times.
And are you on call when you're on call? Is it like every week is rotational? How does that work in your environment? Just curious.
No, so everyone is on call at all times. The whole team is.
Really? How do they pay you for that? Like what's the, I don't mean how do they pay you as in numbers, what's the compensation for that? Like I know if I go on call, they compensate me with a certain number of hours, and if I work over those hours, then they'll compensate me for that. But if you're on call all the time, how does that work?
So I mean, we have shifts and things like that. So like, we have like we're 24/7. So it's almost like a SOC position or something, like it's 24/7 rotational. And so we'll have people for the night shift, for the day shift, and then for like the morning shift. But when you do clock in, you have to be on call.
Got it. Yeah, I was just wondering because some people they're on call and then they're expected to pick up the phone immediately. While some companies it's like it's got 8 to 5, and then 8 to 5 is IT support, like the regular shift, and then it rotates over to the person that's on call after that, after 5 o'clock, and then after that they have to pick up the phone. So I was just wondering how your environment's set up because everyone's set up differently. Just curious.
Right.
But yeah, I don't have any more questions. Thanks, Brad.
All right, so before we go, I'm going to show you guys quickly how to join in do you want to do this, Haifa, or do you want me to do this? Do you want me to?
I can do it.
Okay, go ahead, Haifa. So just show the Discord part so then people know. Just quickly before she starts, we are going to be in the Discord right now. If you want to see a batch 3 intern live right now, how he's going to perform his lab, then join in the links that we're sharing right now. So because that's what we do, just join in the links, come to the Discord community. The people that are asking for questions, come to Discord because I'm going to be live. Let's do one-on-one because some of the questions I'm really not getting it. Like, what does that even mean? So come to the Discord community. We're going to be live. Ask me these questions. I'm going to answer it. And if you want to ask more one-on-one questions, career-related questions, you have some issues, some of the people were asking about some server stuff. So come to the session because we're going to be live in the lab. So our intern is going to be doing a lab. We're going to be watching that as well. And just join in. That's what we're
I was gonna say that we do a lot of things for free on Discord. That's not on YouTube. You guys won't see it. So if you're on Discord,
while he just said that, I am gonna post for two users to get a full MD100 lab for next 24 hours access. This is a full access to the lab environment. So if you want to get that access, come on in. You may just get lucky and get the first 2 people will get it immediately when we finish this chat.
Can I get permission to share my screen, please?
Oh, yes, sorry.
You can share.
There you go.
Merci. All right, let's do this. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is Job Skill Share's Discord community. If you go through the channels right here, they're pretty self-explanatory. If you have any questions, please ask them like in the general chat, tag us. We're always available. But what we're talking about now is we're going to be here in the general voice chat. And that's where we are going to be going over like watching a batch 3 intern do his first task. Also, if you want to take a look at what's going on with the internships, you can't post in here if you're not part of the batches, but it's a good idea to like just go in and like see like how they're progressing and what they're doing. We have this thing called Hot Seat, which is kind of like, think about it, that's how I think about it, like a game show. We put someone on the hot seat and they get asked questions on YouTube, and they have to perform it on a server. Some of them are soft skill questions. Hot Labs is a mini version of that. So for Hot Labs, like you would be doing it live. However, instead of on YouTube with like a lot of people, you're usually doing it live like on the Discord. And then like 5 or 6 people will come and watch you.
And for 24 hours access, it's going to be in the practice lab section. I'm going to post it to you. So click on there, Haifa. So here I'm going to post that. That's the lab that I'm going to give for 24 hours now for 2 people. As soon as I finish this, I'm going to post it. So this is what it's going to cover: Windows 10 deployments, migration, all that kind of stuff. So you got to be quick, because as soon as I send a message, it just goes like that, very like in a few seconds.
Yeah. So how do you want them to? They have to message you, right? The first 2 people.
So if you look at the old message, I usually post it there, and they directly send me a message, but I have to post it first. So don't send me a direct message that I need this lab. I'm going to post it right now after this session. When I get my intern ready for the lab, I'm going to post it. As soon as I post it, the first 2 people will get access.
Feel free to, if you're going to ask any questions, we recommend that you do it in chit chat and tag us, because if one of the admins are not available to answer you, at least someone else from the community is able to help. Of course, you're always welcome to reach out to us privately, but it's very, very difficult for us to constantly check our messages, because we do get a lot of messages. So please be mindful of that. I think that's all I have to add from the Discord. Danish, do you want me to touch on anything else?
No, once you join in, and if you want to join the KevTech Discord, we are also posting his links directly. So you can click from here, this chat, or you can come to our community and basically ask for a link, and she's posting it right now in the channel. And also in the description, these links will be available just in case you can't find it. Brad LinkedIn profile, Kevin Diaz LinkedIn profile, Haifa's LinkedIn profile, and KevTech channel and his LinkedIn will be available to you all. But it takes a little time for me because I'm an old person right here. So it takes me a little time to do this stuff. Thank you so much for joining in. I'll see you in the Discord. Thank you, Brad, again, for giving your precious time, and we really appreciate it. And again, admins, as usual, always, you guys are really appreciated when you guys join in. So we will see you in episode 3. Brad, make sure you don't come and say, I have kids now in episode 3.
No.
All right. Take care, everyone. We'll see you in Discord.
Yeah, everybody.
Bye.